With our example of object-oriented programming. So currently we used our object on two different places and working with two different source of data. The first one is the data comes from a file, the second one is the data comes from a post. And our object works perfectly and on both ways. So this is the file reader. This is the file reader where whatever we change on the object logic, it will affect on the both files where it's used. Let's try something new. We will have another option here, and it will be when the experience it's more than, let's say, 2 years. That will be middle. Go here. We don't have such a data, maybe. Let me introduce it. If that one is a 3, okay, it's a middle, because it's not enough to be senior, but it's not too small to be junior. When we have 3, we have a middle professional here. Let me try this with the index.php file. Let me submit a new record. Two years of experience. I'm a junior, but if I submit three years of experience, I'm a middle. So you can see how from one place we take effect into all the places where this object is used. And this is how object-oriented programming helps to structure our code and to reuse our code. So object-oriented programming separate the similar data for each object into one class. It encapsulates it encapsulates that data, so that helps to reuse the data depending on what kind of data we need. So it helps to define where to use that data, and helps to use the correct data. As you can see here in the person object, we have only similar to object data like first name, like position, like experience. We don't have, for example, something that is not part of the person object. Let's say something that is, for example, in our office, we don't have how floors we have on the office. So it's only relevant to the person object data. And this is very structural, and it helps to structure a better code. It even helps to make a faster performance code, and to make the code on a faster way. So this is the first thing that we have benefits from the object-oriented programming. The second one is to reuse the same code and to apply the same rules independently of where the data comes from, like it's here. We doesn't care where the experience comes from, if it's on a file, it's on a post array, or it's on database. So the logic, the person always have the experience, and the person always apply that logic. This is the second one. And the third one is reusing of the code. So you remember how our script looks like in the beginning. So So now we are able to reuse that data on the different place and provide the data source dependent on the type of the page. This is very beneficial, so we don't need to repeat our code. And you saw some example of MVC, model views controller design pattern, where we have a template that is reused, so we don't need to repeat that template on all the pages. We can just include it and apply the same structural rules to dependent on the data we have. And this is the info template where it's used on different places. And when we change something here, it will affect all the places that we have. But also if we decide to use different templates here, we can include another template, and again we can use the same data. So separation of the data and the templates helps to keep one of them, but use it for another case. For example, we can keep that template and we provide data comes from different sources, but the same is true also if we use different template but with the same data. But if we need to show the data differently, we can use the other template. So you already know how the MVC model view controller design patterns and object-oriented programming helps to structure the code in the better way, and most important, to reuse the logic you have already written. So once you start coding, you will see how many situations you have that if you spend like 15 or 30 minutes to write some code, you can reuse this code on different places and do the same job. So it's very important to make the code reusable. You save a lot of time and efforts to when you write the code or when you add new features and add new functionalities. Thank you for watching.